Hello, can anybody hear us? Are we out there? Hey, Jesus is Lord, can you hear us? Hi, Barb. Can you hear me, Barb? Oh, hey, MB, how you doing, guys? All right, good deal. I got some crazy note from StreamYard. This is only our second time on StreamYard, and MB, I know you can explain it to me. Says this will not be saved in StreamYard. I'm just using the free version. It will only work if you. I guess the free version ended an hour ago. Last week was my first one. What's that mean? It will not be saved in StreamYard or something like that. And I don't know if it's working or not. What's that mean, Michael, Bobby, Jean? Y'all know? Can y'all tell me? Because we hadn't signed a paid subscription yet, as you can tell by the little duck in the corner, whatever that means. It's great to see y'all there. I'm sure y'all can bear with me here while we figure out StreamYard again. Trying to get my phone logged in here too. Angela's on her way. I know that's who y'all really came to see. She'll be here in just a minute. You ready, Freddie?
I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there in just a minute.
Oh, okay. You still running around trying to put your face and hair on? Oh, you putting a wig on tonight or what?
Yeah.
Putting a wig on tonight?
Yeah, sure.
You putting your long-haired wig on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ice. Yeah, and the outside freezer. All right, so MB says, yeah, you can only use like 20 hours free, and I'm pretty sure it won't save it to stream. Okay, all right.
Will it save it to YouTube though?
So it'll save it on the YouTube side, but not the StreamYard side. Is that what I'm understanding by watching this? By what you're saying there, Michael or Bobby? Don't want to assume, but yeah, like people do to us all the time. But so it'll still save the stream on YouTube, just not StreamYard, which I need to go in and check out their subscription options. I'm bad about not checking that stuff out. It's kind of like when because every time you click on something, somebody wants to sell you something, but this is actually something we need. 5 people watching. Okay, so it'll save it on YouTube side. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. I'll try to quit my munching. My kids, when they went down to Florida and back, picked me up, and we have this place. Any of you from South Georgia watching? A place called Merritt. See if I can get to. There we go. Merritt Pecan Company, and y'all can see what they picked me up. Praline pecans, and they picked these up for me on the way down there. I was munching on these in the last live we did up at Brooke and David's house, and found them in the bag.
Which one?
The chicken freezer.
Oh my.
Our freezers are labeled by what's in them. Told my wife, and we don't have ice in our ice maker because it's. Oh, I'll get you some. You want to sit down and talk to people?
Sure.
All right, I'll go get you some.
Okay.
I was explaining to them why it's called the chicken freezer.
Hey guys. How's everybody? It's a chicken freezer because there's chicken in it. That's why it's called the chicken freezer. And then we have the stand-up freezer, the one on the carport, and the one on the porch, the one in the back room. We got too many freezers. So there you go. It's about all our freezers. So if somebody wants to, they now know where all our food is. So what's everybody up to tonight? Anybody there? Can y'all hear me? Oh, hey. Hey. I'm assuming Michael. We got Barb on here. Who else we got? Leslie, that's it. There's other people in here. Who else is in here? Say hello. Say hello. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Tom. How are you? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, he's gone. We can talk about him. I love him so much. He gets so stressed out about these lives, getting on time. I just had to brush my hair. You know how that goes. And had to get me some sweet tea because, you know, that's the only kind of tea there is. He drinks unsweet tea.
I drink real tea. Let me top this off for you.
It's nasty. Oh, Darren, he's don't call him ugly. He's so handsome.
Yep.
He's getting me some tea. Well, I was getting me some tea, and then I didn't know where the ice was. And it was in the chicken freezer, which had a 50-pound bag of dog food on it. So he was sweet and got it for me.
Darren is used to Terry being on when he comes on. She says, "Well, good morning, handsome." So
I know he doesn't have that tonight, does he?
Yes. Terry's not
No,
here,
Barb. The grands aren't here. They have school, so they have to go to bed. You know.
What a bummer. Another reason for them not to go to school. We don't get to see them. They have to go to bed early.
I'll just sit down and walk around.
You walk. You can go. You want to go behind me? You just want
I
to do
forgot
my
my phone. Sit down.
Oh, okay. Hey, Toms, how you doing, sir? See who I was joined since I got sent on the ice mission.
Tom, as far as I can tell. Wait, there's more poop on this bag.
That's good. That's the same.
I cleaned it up the same spot.
Is a cat doing it?
I don't know, but it's gonna stay outside.
It has to be a cat. Angela's pampered chef.
No, it's 31 bag, not paper.
Oh, it's a cooler bag. Apparently, one of the animals enjoys squatting on it.
Okay, I'm back.
You. James says that is right. I just put my finger in it.
Please.
MB. Sweet as heck. My wife puts her finger in my tea
More like lemon in the tea.
and makes it bitter.
I do not. I'm the sweet one.
Ooh, you had a tube put in your right ear on Friday. Sound like fun, Tom. I take it, there's fluid backed up behind it, I would assume. I take it they don't do that to adults for the fun of it, just like they don't for kids for the fun of it.
Nathan had to have tubes. Broke my heart. You just put your arm right in front of everybody.
Oh, boy. See my Superman muscles today? It's probably what Darren was thinking, too.
Let's get over just a little bit so they.
How about I turn the camera?
Okay.
Do that? Do this way.
There we go.
Okay.
Now I don't have to stress to get in the picture.
Well, they would probably rather if I just turned it all toward you anyway.
So Nathan had to have tubes when he was like 9 months old. Yep. He said he had fluid behind his ears. And it broke my heart. They took him back in a little wagon.
Took him back in the little wagon.
They did. You don't remember that?
How long ago was that?
I remember because it was my little baby. They took him back in a little wagon. He waved his little hand.
No, I don't remember that at
Hi,
all.
Mama. I love you.
I definitely do not remember that.
He didn't say he loved me because he was 9 months old, but that's what he was thinking.
He's probably hollering, "Daddy, get me out of here. Let's go forward riding."
He was 9 months old. 9 months.
He want them boys are. All right, so we've got so we have hey, when you do the paid subscriptions to StreamYard, I'll tell you what, let me put the link up here. That's one thing I wanted to do anyway. So we get some guys to join us. Did this last week for the first time, and of course we enjoyed the heck out of it, having some people up here. Post this up here.
What's down in the garden? Oh, we'll get to that, Barb.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna. That's what we're gonna. That's what we were gonna talk about. Let's just say that I threw the link up. Anybody wants to come up and join us? Because part of what we want to talk about on here is we can easily explain what's happening in our garden. So we want to know what. Let's just say what ours is due to. human error. So what things have you guys done that may have caused death among the living at your place, like we have here? So anybody that wants to join us, y'all come on up. And are you sneaking away from me again? No, there we go. But yeah, Barb, that's what we want to talk about here. We caused human error is what caused our garden to die. Now we have, as everybody knows, we have weed fabric in there. We have irrigation in there. We have, it's not weeds. It's not the fact that we don't have irrigation. It's, and we do know how to turn it on and off.
Well, kind of.
So there's
heard about that.
There's about running a well dry. We talked about that one last weekend. We were so good at turning the irrigation on that we run a well dry.
Oh, it happened again this week, but this one wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
It was Brooke and Nathan's fault. We asked Brooke when she was here picking up the kids, please turn the water off when you go outside, because she had to go right by it. And then she forgot. So then she calls Nathan, hey, I forgot, instead of just texting me, because I'd have walked right on out there and done it. So at 3:00 in the morning?
No chips, brother. It's get it right. There we go. Praline pecans.
From the Merit Pecan Company. And the Merit Pecan Company?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and 3:00. And Nathan's up here for some reason that night. I don't know why. And he's like, I'm like, to flush the toilet. I knew it. And I turned on the faucet. No water. That was Monday, I think. And Nathan's like,
wood chips in the garden.
He goes, I forgot. I said, well, then you can deal with it in the morning. So he did. I made him run outside, turn off the water, go downstairs, turn off the water heater, and deal with all that. You didn't plant one this year. That's a good way not to have to. That is an easy
Terry.
garden.
How you doing, Terry?
All right, so I'll tell you.
Let's get into it a little bit. Before we do that, MB, I hope we grabbed you another stub again today. I was over helping some friends of ours at Here We Go Homestead. They were doing a container garden. They had a decently sized container garden, and I helped them get an in-ground garden going here over the last week for their fall crops. And they had
so good with ours.
Yeah. And we have done well with ours this year. We've got to roll with the punches. That's why we have these lives. We tell everything that happens here, so hopefully people can learn from it. We're going to do a video on what happened in our garden. And but you guys on the live get to know first. But they have big piles of wood chips. They had a big pile of wood chip and soil mixed together, good looking soil and wood chips mixed together. They get from a biodegradable place up the road. And so the ground there was just rock hard. We were trying to till it. They broke it up with their tractor a little bit, and I had borrowed a friend of mine's rear time tiller, or shoulder stretcher, arm breaker, whatever you want to call it, to try to get it tilled up some for him. We were getting there slowly but surely, and I looked around the yard and saw that. I said, well, look, he's got an old tractor. I said, well, look, it was about a 5-inch or 6-inch drop anyway to get it to grade. So we ended up getting their wood chip soil combination that they had, because the soil I was tilling was very good and rich, but it just took me so while. I said, so long story short, they brought the wood chips and soil over there that came from the recycle place. And that's what they put on there. We tilled it all in, tilled it together, and we got talking about permaculture. And I said, now, I don't know much about this. I said, but she said, well, I've been trying to watch stuff. I said, you need to go watch MB Heritage. So I spelled it out. I said, I'll throw a link to one of the videos to you. And I said, they know anything there is to know about permaculture gardening. I said, I can't tell you a whole lot about it. I said, but I know it has a lot to do with mulch. I said, in managing your soil. I said they manage it with chickens, I'm not going to tell them what I don't know. So I couldn't tell them a whole lot. All I could tell them was what I said. They manage. I said chickens and mulch and soil. I said they do a little bit of everything on there. I said, but they manage it naturally. I said, they don't do. I never see a whole lot of weeding going on. I never see a whole lot of weeds growing. And she was talking about how she'd seen a lot about permaculture, and she couldn't figure out what was what and here and that. And so she was going to go check you guys out. And hey, Ged, how you doing, sir? Thanks for joining, buddy. But they're gonna. So I was helping them. We helped them. We planted some corn. We planted some. We put some bean trellises up today, and I mean, it looks really good spot to have. It's nothing but mulch and some good looking soil, and what we planted the bean seeds 3 days ago, and they're already starting to sprout. So I'm excited for them, and they're excited for them because they're container garden. Let them down a decent amount already this year. They're first year gardeners.
Oh, so Terry, I'm assuming that you dropped your phone in water, or someone did. I'm assuming maybe it would be a child.
What you do?
Gray hair maker. I'm assuming that's a kid.
Me and gray hair maker looking at phones.
James says I'm his gray hair maker, and that because I don't have gray hair, I don't have any gray hair.
You would have lived a pampered life for at least the last 27 years.
See, I've lived a pampered life because I don't have gray hair.
Honey, anybody that was married to you would have given you the same pampered life. Yes.
You such a liar.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brooke, how you doing, honey? Everybody that's on here, tell Miss Brooke, my only daughter, that she might not want to be, happy birthday. Today is her birthday. 26 years old, right? 25. See, I missed it this morning. I said 24. Brooke, the mother of my grandkids, happy birthday to Miss Brooke. Brooke, you just missed us singing happy birthday to you.
He jumped into a truck bed full of water. Why would a truck bed be full of water anyways? I just got to know. 25. Hey, Tony, how you doing, Tony Watch? Or Miss Jackie. It could be Miss Jackie.
It could be Miss Jackie. You're right. It's their assumption thing again.
Mm-hmm. Everybody always assumes it's James, and I'll be like, this is Angela, and they'll still be calling me James.
All right. So our garden. So that's what anybody that wants to join, we'll throw the link up every now and then. We'd love for somebody to come in. Except for you, Terry. If you come in, I'm going to leave you down there in the green room for about, I don't know, at least, 10 minutes or so, like you did me. I might exaggerate just a little bit. And, and just let you hang out down there and join the refresh.
Dad filled it up. So it was like a redneck pool. I got you. I was thinking that might be what it was, but okay. And he just was like, hey, I'm going to jump in, pants on.
Why not?
Super smart. We had gray hair makers too. Oh, didn't we? Brooke's husband. If we survived him, we could survive anything.
David, our oldest son.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I think between he and Angela, see, this used to be red, very red. Very, very red. Well, Brooke knows about making gray hair. She's the one that her husband, David, he's getting all these gray hairs in here in his long beard. And that's where his are coming from.
Okay. She does know you and knows how you are. So Brooke actually knows who is the gray hair maker in the family.
Oops.
And Brooke, who's the gray hair maker in your family? I'm just curious.
Hey, there's my brother from my other mother. How you doing? Now, this is a fella who has no gray. I don't even think we came from the same I don't think this fella and I have any actual blood genes because he has no gray.
Okay.
And I have, even a little bit of gray that I have, he has none. So I don't know where, I'm really wondering if we're related by blood or not.
Well, I'm glad he didn't lie. That's good.
How you doing, brother man?
I'm doing great, man.
I met him back in the day. Can we hear him?
Now we can hear. Try it again, Darren.
I'm doing great.
There we go. Didn't realize we had it on mute because there wasn't anybody else talking until just now. Let's go to this view.
That's better. Now we can see Angela properly.
No, they'd rather just block me out. Good. Now Darren can tell us what we're doing.
Say something about that.
Terry, thank you, honey. I appreciate everybody that calls me. I tend to have that effect on women, Terry. Look, you're making me blush, darling.
Hmm.
They are all crazy, Brooke. The whole bunch of them. I'm surprised I survived.
I've only been awake now, man.
Not that long.
Hey, hello, Henry. Did you want to say hey? Come here. Yeah. Hello there, big boy. Henry's over with me today, helping put bean poles and stuff up. All right, so our garden. That's all you did.
He probably read to your kids without you paying him.
That's like his grandkids.
Normally they complain because I'm on YouTube too much.
That's right.
They like to listen to him. Lauren will watch him make. She was just fascinated. What did she watch him make? Some kind of I don't know. It was a recipe. She watched the entire thing, and then she goes, "Meemaw, I think we need to make that." One of those things that like we can't get here in the United States, kind of thing.
Probably had Vegemite in it.
No, it was something else. I don't know. But she was like, "Why does he talk that way?"
Are you sure she didn't say, Meemaw, what is oregano? So our garden.
No, I'll tell.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because you don't ever shut up, so they want to hear me anyway.
Well, we got to fill up a whole hour.
So, anyways, so the stuff has been kind of slowly like dying. I mean, the beans. I thought it was because of the bugs. I was like, I don't know. Then I thought it was the heat. Because it is getting pretty over in the 90s and, stuff stops producing. I know last year, like my cucumbers kind of petered out and my beans petered out. We had to plant more. So I kind of thought that's what it was. And all of my winter squash just died like overnight, it seemed like. And, anyway, so I turned on the water the other night and came in the house, and James was still outside, and he hates it when he has to be somewhere by himself.
I had Landon.
Oh, yeah.
I had my little man. And, they decided they want to enroll him in school this year, so I'm by myself a good bit.
Poor thing.
Now,
he can do it like a child.
Yeah.
Actually, children can do things by themselves.
That's why I made sure that David got a fertile wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he calls me on the phone because he tends to do that when he's outside. My phone was in the back. I was like, Lauren, go get my phone because she was in here with me. And he goes, Angela, come outside. I just came in. I'm trying to cook dinner.
He was in the bed.
I was not. I was in the kitchen. That's why Lauren had to go get my phone in the back.
Oh, okay. I thought you was already asleep.
I had just come inside.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Then. I'm sorry. The important part of the story.
So he says, come outside. Go turn off the water. So I had to go outside to turn off the water because he couldn't walk from the garden to the water, which I do every day, back and forth, back and forth.
I didn't think I needed to.
Why don't you ever check the water? You don't ever come down here and check this stuff. Well, anyways, there's a giant gaping hole in one of the lines.
So we have an irrigation system in our garden. I go by the theory, inspect what you expect. So that's why I eat a lot of what she cooks. I've got to make sure it's good food to eat. So Angela, and I actually do understand why she does it because, you get lackadaisical with stuff. We've preached this in a lot of our videos. You just, you fall into the daily routine. So we spent the money, we put it in the system, we got all the stuff to do it. We also fertilize through our irrigation system. So those of you guys that aren't crystal clear of what it is, but basically you can figure we have large pipe that runs down the width of our garden, and then we have a bunch of little bitty lines that run down each row of the garden, for lack of better words. And down the little bitty lines that run down each row, there's small pinholes in them. And out of the pinholes, it just lets out drops of water. And we have it timed to where we do about an hour and a half out of our drip irrigation about 3 times a week. And it's been doing well for us all summer. And I'm sitting there by our chicken tractor that we keep chickens in up by the garden. We keep it moving back and forth, throw our scraps and stuff in, and I can't. Landon, you hear that? Huh? The car, Granddaddy? I heard it when it went by. He said, no, that's not what I'm talking about. So we're going back. I said, did you hear that? The water? He said, get it, the irrigation. Meanwhile, turn the water on. So we're back and forth. I'm thinking, man, those drip emitters aren't going to make that kind of racket. So I get up and I start looking around. And I'm looking around. And, of course, it's the last line on the far end of the garden, about 10 feet up. It was squirting out probably a 1/4 inch, not quite as wide. I got my finger, but not quite as wide as your pinky finger. It was squirting out to beat the band. I mean, where it was landing on the other side of the garden, we had one about the middle of we had one stripe of green corn. One, it was spraying through there, and one green tomato plant, because it was just a spraying. Basically, you had one hole, one drip emitter. For some reason, one hole had gotten itself blown wide open. Who knows why? Maybe somebody stepped on it. Maybe somebody poked a hole in the line. It wasn't actually but what that does, most of you guys already know, but what that does is basically it depressurizes the system, and all the water that's supposed to be going out of all the drip emitters, all the legs in every row of the garden, it now is escaping out through there. So there's not enough pressure to shove it out the other holes and the rest of the holes in the garden and make it drip. So,
you know what happens when you don't water a garden in 90-degree weather in Georgia?
So we're guesstimating based on the turning of brown that we had seen, that we were thinking, just looking at it here and there, like, is the heat what is it? The heat that's doing this?
Underwater garden, yeah.
Think it's the heat that's doing this, Andrew? I mean, I know we're supposed to succession plant. I mean, the corn was doing well, and then blah. The beans were doing awesome. The butter beans were coming on. We were picking. I mean, y'all saw a post, and we're getting a 1/2 to 3/4 bushel of pickings a day. It's going well. And then, the squash was coming on. The melons were coming on. The sunflower seeds. The sunflowers were reaching tall for the sky. Everything was doing awesome. And then, over the course of about a week and a half, when we had our hottest temperatures right there around 100 degrees solid, and we were doing our heaviest water, and we weren't getting any water coming down from the sky, no assistance from the sky, no anything. And we fertilized one time during that. We got one good strip of fertilization going down through there too, in that one spot. But yeah, it's when we lost. We were just watering that one spot, because Angela would go out and turn it on. The well's between the house and the garden, so she would turn it on, and then come back in the house and set our timers so we don't forget, and go back out there and turn it off. And then we do it late at night, so next morning, and then you've got dew on the ground, so we never actually checked to see that it was doing its job. And the irony behind that is we have our weed fabric mat, and we had our big debate with all of YouTube and everybody on that does it in YouTube. and when you're putting down weed fabric, do you put the drip irrigation? Do you still bury the drip tube, or do you leave it between the top of the surface and the weed fabric, or do you just put it on top of the weed fabric? So we decided to go on top of the weed fabric. We followed that. We got that main hint, and we followed it from Living Traditions. But we did a lot of studying on it, and it's done well. We were very proud of the fact that we did it. But the main reason you put it there, so that if something goes wrong with your irrigation system and your irrigation lines, you'll know about it. You'll be able to fix it before your garden suffers from it, before your garden goes dry. They did not tell us, though, that in order for you to realize that something goes wrong, you need to walk around and look at it.
I do normally look. But it's not while it's watering. I walk the garden every day.
But she would have had to walk it while it was watering, and she literally would have had to walk as far from the well after she turned it on as she can walk.
And see, when I water, so I make sure the well is off, so I have to turn it off, and then I walk up to the garden and I hand water the raised beds. Then I have to walk back down to the well, turn it off, and then go hook it up, and then go back to the well and turn it on.
Hey, so Patty, how you doing?
I have to go back and forth a lot, and I don't want to walk back up there. So it's my fault for, I guess, being lazy. But I mean, I can't do all that walking anyways. So it's really James's fault.
Darren, you knew that was coming, didn't you? Yeah, hey, Sweeney's, Mr. Bob, how you doing? Come on in and join us. I didn't even realize you were in the. I didn't even realize that you were in the chat there, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, very well, mate. Yourself?
Doing very well, sir. Doing very well.
So did you leave someone sitting in the basement for too long?
Sweeney's Creek Farm. He also has his own channel, Bomber Steve. This is Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, no, just jumped on. I saw you were live and saw Darren was there. And apparently there's a bit of fandom going on with the Aussie accent, so I thought I'd jump in and get a bit more in there.
Absolutely. Here's another one, Brooke, that can come read. My daughter-in-law wants Darren to come read bedtime stories to our grandkids. So here's you another one, Brooke.
Yeah, I saw that. You pimping yourself out to read bedtime stories now, are you, mate?
No. I had a request.
Oh, well, that's all good. Hang on, I'll just swap my camera around and give you something you can see.
We're going to see the food forest.
Yeah, what you got going on out there with you, Steve? Asphalt garden.
Kangaroos.
Yeah, I'm at work at the moment. A couple of our little friends are here. I'll just go nice and quiet. Hello.
Oh, what's that?
This is one of their. This is one of their lay down and take it easy spots. Hello. And the one at the back there's got a little Joey. You can see the legs sticking out of the pouch.
Oh, look at that. See, look, I'll be darned. Look at that.
Aww.
So
that is awesome, Steve. That is, look at that.
Looks like there's about 4 or 5 with Joeys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at, they're all over the place.
So how many of them have Joeys?
1, 2, 3.
Aren't the babies? I'm
sure. I can see about 5 with Joeys. The guy on the extreme
awesome.
right there. That's he's one of the males, so he's just keeping an eye on me.
Oh, the one staying right.
Make sure you don't get too close.
Yeah.
Night, Tony. I didn't see
That's
it. You said he was leaving. I'm sorry.
Oh, good night, Tony.
Little male.
Thanks for joining us, bud.
Oh, Tony.
They're just close there. Well, I'm assuming do they get
They get protective. I'm assuming the dads do.
Yeah,
wow,
they're a native animal, so they're all protected.
That
Looks
is
like
awesome.
Probably the pack leader there. You can see how when they move slowly, they use their front leg, and they just sort of crawl forwards. Oh, hello! Oh, Joey's got its little head out.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because our screen resolution, but yeah, look at that. Stuck is that is awesome. Wow.
Oh, I just love these guys. I could spend all day with them.
Oh, you darn right. We can stay on this live all night and watch them, Steve, as long as you can stand out there all day. How many are there total? 1, 2.
You've actually done at work all day.
3, 6, there's 10 of them. So it's only a small mob. Yep.
Now, are they they're like packs?
Yeah, they
Do they live in like
mobs,
packs?
so in packs. Yeah, we call it a mob of kangaroos.
Okay.
So the mob will range from 10 or so up to 40 or 50, just depending where they are, and then the mob will break up into smaller pieces, and they'll go off into different parts. Just depends how much food's around. Yeah, they've decided Bomber Steve's picking them off at the moment, so they're going. And he's an old male there, right in front of me there. Yes, I'm not hassling you. I'm just
Jan.
showing people.
How you doing, Simply Jan? Good to see you, dear, and see you come in. We've been too busy looking at kangaroos.
That's one thing we do not
That's
have
right.
around here unless you go to the zoo.
Again, I'm glad we have the bandwidth to do StreamYard tonight. We would have missed this one.
Their back legs are an amazing evolution. That's it's one of the most efficient springs in nature, and it's actually a really effective way, a really efficient way of moving. So when they land, it actually compresses their ligaments in their legs, which then helps them bound off on the next one. So it's they're a pretty amazing sort of little critter that we have around here. Oh, hello.
I think I saw him ball his little hands up like a fish, lean like you see on TV, getting ready to.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. I'll go for venomous snakes day in, day out, no problems. But if this guy arcs up, I'm out of here.
That's right. That's right.
Because these guys,
I'm sure you guys would know what is the. It's like Barb had asked. What's the PSI or what do they relate the leg kick of a kangaroo to?
I don't know. Probably an axe head.
I mean, I know that it's. I mean, I didn't know if the ostrich kick we could relate it to animal-wise would be like an ostrich kick or something to that effect. It's
it's probably more powerful than an ostrich.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would imagine it is. I mean, they're a lot stronger, but
like you guys talk about the boxing of the kangaroos, they don't really box. They try and grab a hold. So they can lift up on their tail and rake down with their claws.
Oh, that's what they do. Okay.
Yes, they do indeed.
Steve, that
a lot of people have lost.
Man.
A lot of people have lost dogs. The dogs will start a fight and interaction with them, and old mate kangaroo will get them with that claw in the middle of their back legs and open them right up.
Oh, I got you.
So kangaroo usually wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they're a very shy and very non-confrontational animal. But they're as you saw there, he just wanted to get away from me. But if it gets to a point where he's got no choice, then he'll arc up. And that's where we don't encourage people to interact with them in the wild. These guys are a little bit different. Like out in my property, I can't get that close to the kangaroos because they're not used to people. These guys are living in amongst suburbia, so this is at the back of the university, and their houses, 50 feet over there, so that they're used to seeing people in cars, so they're a little bit more chill, which can be a bad thing.
Yes, yeah. I've had a similar situation with deer over here, not where I live, but in suburbia they do.
Deer getting used to.
Yeah.
See what Brooke said.
Crocodile Dundee there.
Steve, can you read the comments, Steve?
No, I haven't got any chat showing.
Oh, my daughter-in-law says, James, you have real-life Crocodile Dundee friends, and I'm jealous.
Darren, there we go again. We just can't get away from that bloody Crocodile Dundee thing.
That's right.
You can't, mate.
Australians, they resent those comments, bro. I say stuff like that to Darren to insult him. Call him Paul Hogan. He gets all.
It's not insulting. It's just that he only represents a small percentage of the population, or some behaviour. So it's like picking.
It's a characterization.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like how people usually portray in the southern part of the United States.
Hey, Terry.
Redneck Hits, and most of the people in the southern part of the United States are not.
Yeah, we're southern.
Exactly.
That's right. It's definitely a difference between being a country boy and a redneck, and that is a proud term. It's not a low class hick Billy term of life. Is that right, Michael?
Well, stereotypes are often based on reality and truth, but they're not a real judgment of all people in that area. So and that's the definition of a stereotype. So I've got a bit of Crocodile Dundee about me. I've got a bit of Steve Irwin about me, but that's I'm not them, and I'm not the same as Irwin.
Yeah, she mentioned Steve Irwin earlier, and nobody replied to us because we were busy staring at the Kangaroos. So she had to bring somebody else up to maybe she thought we'd get a reply.
She was referring to her Steve Irwin flash.
Hello, his family. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Steve Irwin was
you just missed it. Evan's family, Mr. This is Bomber Steve. It's on here in the bottom corner. I've got some stuff covered up right now, but Bomber Steve, my mind just went blank.
Stray dogs.
This gentleman right here, Bomber Steve from Sweeney Street Homestead. That's it. My mind went blank. Sweeney Street Farm. He is at work out in Australia, and he just gave us live about at least 5 minutes. So we were up close and personal with some kangaroos, several mamas and some joeys that were in their pouches, and the guard daddy. And that's what we've been watching for the last several minutes. So they just came. I don't know if you were here and not talking or not, but you just missed it. And if you missed it, it was a nice show. Nice show. Hello, Twin Brook. How you doing?
Hey, Terry.
Yeah,
so glad you know we hadn't said anything to you. She's like,
I waved at her when she came on. I said, "Hey, Terry."
I heard him say
I did click immediately in, Terry. Can you sit down there in the green room where we have all our refreshments?
Hey,
I'd love to be there someday too.
Yesterday, so
Australia is one of the places on my bucket list.
Yes.
One day I will make it there, and I
Mine
want
too.
to go snorkeling at the Great Barrier Reef because I love to snorkel. We snorkeled
like me.
at the reef in Key West, and we've snorkeled at several places.
Snorkeled in Jamaica. We snorkeled in several of the Caribbean. But I would love to snorkel down in the
My sister-in-law and brother got to snorkel at the Great Barrier Reef. I'm jealous.
Steve, what's the down south of you guys, Steve? I think it's actually, if it's not now, I believe it used to be part of Australia. I was looking at it. It's a country that's made up of 26 islands or something like that. It's a big reef. I'm trying to remember.
That's going to be. Well, the only country south of us is Tasmania, and
stop playing with the Americans.
Sorry, Tasmania is a state of Australia, but it's separated by a body of water, so we call it another country.
Okay.
And then you've got New Zealand to the east, across the ditch, or as the New Zealanders say, across the Dutch.
Dutch.
So.
Is that the one
New
that's
Zealand
about
New Zealand is a kind of
Tasmania,
Australian.
is that
funny.
New Zealand is what?
kind of Australian?
New Zealand's kind of Australia, but they talk funny. So a lot of them come over here working, and that we kind of regard it as another state, but they talk weird. So
They talk really
We'll
weird.
look it up. Tasmania, is that the one that's I was looking at on the map the other day. Somebody mentioned it, so I looked it up. It's like 20. I want to say they call it the Horseshoe or something. It's 26 different islands, or 27, 20 inhabited. It's more islands than that, but I can't remember.
There you go.
I'll have to look it up. If you look at it, it's down from Hawaii.
that's Tasmania.
yeah,
No,
Well, then,
that's not what
out
I'm
in-
talking about.
out in the
No,
Pacific,
we'll have to-
between Australia and America, out in the Pacific, you've got a lot of island nations out there. So you've got Samoa, Fiji, the Hebrides. So there's a lot of
Okay.
island hopping that you can do through the Pacific.
Okay. All right.
and that might be where
As
you're
I was
looking.
zooming out, I saw the first big thing I saw was Australia as I was zooming out. So then it's probably a lot further away than I was thinking. But they were talking about they were known for their huge reefs there. No, not the Solomon Islands. He mentioned them here. I'll find it. Y'all, let's see here.
You gotta think like James. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Hang on.
You
Think
try
and
being
like
James.
James.
Thinking like
Those
James.
two
That's
words
very
don't go
confusing,
together.
too.
I said you gotta kind of think like James. Kind of. There's a key word. Kind of.
There's Fiji. There's Samoa.
But we've got quite a few interesting islands around the country as well. There's Kangaroo Island over in South Australia, and there's Rottnest Island off Western Australia. So, there's these little out of the way spots, and they have some really interesting things to see and things to interact with. So, when you do get to come to Australia, do a lot of research and tailor your visit to suit what you're after.
MB in your yards in Western Australia, so he's on the western side of the country. He's not in Kiwi land, and there's no great white sharks in the Barrier Reef, Brooke. It's too warm for them.
Lots of bull sharks, but no great whites.
Yeah, lots of bull sharks, lots of tiger sharks.
Yes.
I would love to go swimming in the waters around the Great Barrier Reef, and one of the things on my bucket list, and Darren told me I was crazy for this, is to get in a cage in the water and have sharks swimming around.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Oh, now that's cuckoos. Cuckoo
Have you
pants
seen that
there,
movie,
Terry. I'm
47
just going
Feet
to say.
Down?
There's quite a few companies
swimming with the
Sharks.
yeah.
With the
South
sharks, yeah.
bless you,
South
Terry.
Australia.
Hey, Roy.
South Australia.
As Southern Baptists would say, bless your heart. Hey, Roy, how you doing?
So if you go,
on
Hey,
here.
Roy.
I said, hey, Patty. It might have been, what's it called down there south of Kiribati? Y'all know anything about Kiribati? Okay, shut up. Never mind.
If you say the word properly, we might have an idea what you're talking about.
Look, it's not my fault you don't speak redneck, okay?
I speak
You
redneck good.
It's
you got to get online and do
must
an
not-
Australian language course.
It's right. Kiribati. Because I could have swore when I was reading they were talking about Australia, but I may be wrong. We'll bring that up we'll save that for another.
Antarctica is south of Australia.
It certainly is.
Look, Kirribilli, where the Prime Minister lives.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it's a
I'll figure it out
Kiribati.
sometime. I'll figure it out sometime.
Country in Oceania.
Oceania.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out sometime. I remember what it was because it was, like I said, y'all are the closest big country to it. But and I was thinking they mentioned Australia a few times when I was reading about it. I forgot how I got on the subject when I was reading. I was surfing something.
He was reading.
Yeah, I was probably
Can
I was
tell
probably
me?
I was
What?
probably in deep thought, sitting in my second chair.
Brooke said a shark is a shark. She'd rather take on a daddy kangaroo.
I believe I'd rather take on a shark because I have like one or two mean sharks. I won't want to take on if I'm taking on a daddy kangaroo, I done pissed him off. If he's standing there messing with me, I've already pissed him off.
Mako's
sure.
tigers, they'll quite happily take a bite.
Yeah, that's
That's why
right.
you stay in a cage
Just-
in the water.
And the thing is, sharks don't have hands, so they
Yeah, it's how
still
they say
work
hello.
for biting.
Yeah. It's
No
called a
thumbs,
what the hell are you bite? And generally when they bite people and they strike all this hard bone inside with their first exploratory bite, they go, oh crap, that does not good, because they're used to taking on seals and things like that. So yeah, they don't really like us, but one
They'll
Oh,
bite's
always swim
often
away
enough
after
to
that
take
one
you out.
bite, but the one
Yeah,
bite's
that's right.
gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was always told. And they bit, and if I ever got bit by a shark, I haven't where they'd spit me out because I taste like.
If you're dealing with a troll or a 15-foot great white, that one bite's going to do a fair bit of damage.
That's right. That's right.
But if you
we do need
if you want to go swimming with the great white, South Australia is the place to go to. There's a lot of companies over in South Australia, and that's where a lot of the great whites in Australia, they come down through the Southern Ocean around the bottom of Australia. And there's quite a few companies based out of the coast over in South Australia that have the cages, and you can go down swimming with the great whites. It's a bit of a buzz, apparently.
Or you can just hop out of the boat at Seal Rock. That works.
Yeah, well, there's that too. Yeah, pass.
So, Patty's got a good question. Talking about Mr. Paul Hogan and the Crocodile Dundee series, did that actually get made in Australia? Or was it filmed, in some studio set? Do y'all know? Was it filmed over there anywhere or where?
Yeah, it was filmed here.
It was?
Yeah.
Here in America.
Absolutely.
Patty Price was asking.
You guys have seen that movie so many times and you don't watch the credits?
No. I don't get that in my original that. Hey, they didn't. The credits were in Australian. I couldn't read them.
Yeah, it said location of filming out the back somewhere, mate.
At the back. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I think it was filmed up in the Kimberleys.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Now, how far do you two live from each other?
About an hour and a half.
I'll lay this on the couch and dry the money.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
even
not very far,
need to have a stop to drive Darren distance.
Terry, show us on the map you've got in front of you how far apart they live from each other. All the computers we have at our service here, and Terry's pointing stuff on the map, holding it in front of the camera. I love it. It's how we do stuff here on PETTWAYs Live.
I know they're like 2 hours apart from what Darren tells me, but I don't know where Steve and Julianne live.
Yeah, if you want to Google a map,
believe in doing that kind of stuff.
Hey, Cherry, how are you?
No.
Thank you for joining us, Cherry. I think this is
from the Poconos. That's someplace I've always wanted to go. Is it
Pennsylvania?
Is it as beautiful as I think it is, or
it's beautiful? But from what I read not that long ago, Pocono Resort closed up. Is that true, Cherry? I had a friend tell me Pocono Resort closed up because they got married.
Brooke says she's seen Australian spiders on the internet. She wouldn't make it 3 feet into the country.
Well, they're not that different from American spiders.
Our spiders are friendly.
Yeah.
Spiders are friendly.
Oh,
our huntsman spider's like your wolf spider.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Mom, do you think you'll take my wet money?
Our redback's like your black widow. Our whitetail's like your brown recluse. The Sydney funnel web's in a game of its own.
I've killed like 8 brown recluse in the last week and a half. I don't want to see no more.
Oh, you got mountains outside your window?
How beautiful. How beautiful, Cherry. How beautiful. Yeah.
it's just the funnel web you don't want to miss it.
Steve, MB's got a good point. You need to hop out and get on at least you're on the passenger side. You're not driving and talking at the same time. So you're being safe about it, Steve.
Yeah, I'm on the passenger side in America. Yeah.
So they drive on the wrong side of the road over there.
Yeah, they can't even drive right.
Don't get started on that. You drive on the wrong side of the road. Let's get this right.
You guys are backwards. When you flush
One thing I will say in America, we would be the ones that if we're going to have a head-on collision, we're going to make sure we're right there in the middle of it. We have a head-on collision.
They're in the middle too.
No, they're at least apart from each other.
No, think
Yes,
about
they
it.
are.
Oh, that's true.
We're going to argue this point right here in front
No, because
of
we drive on the left side of the road. The steering wheel's on the right side of the car.
Yeah.
We're the same setup as you, except opposite.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, we do it the right way.
Let me show you, babe. Okay.
Their roads are just like
We
ours.
sit on the right-hand side of the car
they're
and drive on the
backwards.
left-hand side of the road.
Here's the passenger in this car.
Oh yeah, y'all drive on the opposite sides of the road, don't you?
Choop, choop, choop. Yep, see?
God knows.
Oh my Lord.
Y'all help
Well,
me. Send some help.
some of us do.
Even their toilets flush backwards.
So are you saying that poop runs uphill over there?
I guess so. Oh, speaking of toilets and backwards and stuff, when we were in.
Yes, that is true, Jerry. Very true. I'm thinking, whoa, am I gonna clear that one over there?
Whenever we go like cruises and stuff, we usually like, if we're ridden with people, they drive like maniacs, just by the way, in the Caribbean. But we went to a country called Dominica. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dominica.
So I had to go to the bathroom. And they're like, oh, we're going to stop at this roadside stand and they have a bathroom there.
Oh, my Lord.
So they're like, it's at the top of the stairs. It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was actually no running water. It just was like a drip system that came in from there was a rainforest, so the water just came in.
Came down the mountain.
So they had to have the toilet at the highest point, so that, because stuff has to run back downhill. But so basically, no one can see you, but you could see everybody from the bathroom.
It's like an open shower. The parts that needed to be covered were covered, but everybody could see what you were doing. They just couldn't see the actual point of no return. And the running water came from behind you on the hill. It ran underneath you, and that's what carried.
God, bidet.
That's what carried the waste down where it went.
You got a Caribbean bidet, huh?
That's right. What we're looking at, Steve?
So this is another property that's not far from the uni. The uni actually owns this land, but it's all blocked off. I can't get on there, but there's 5 kangaroos just sort of sitting there.
Huh.
There's another mob of 10 or so over to me left, and there's another mob of about 20. So this is one of their favourite spots. They come down out of the forest and sit here because there's lots of grass. And
You can
see if I can figure out which one of these pulls.
click on his picture that looks like he's in the basement, and you can make him solo.
Just click on him.
Yeah, down bottom. In StreamYard, down bottom, like if he was in the basement.
I'm trying, Terry. What do I need to click on?
Hold on.
Solo layout. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
What does that have to do with the basement?
I don't know.
They don't have anything to do with
Hello.
not a computer anyway, but that's what I was trying to do.
We're just having a little bit of a disagreement there.
Neato.
Oh, look at them. They're getting ready to box. They're facing up. They're fronting each other. That's what they call it in the hood. Look at them. They're going to start chest bumping in a minute.
Yeah, they're sort of having a good look at me because people don't sort of come down to the fence here very often, so they're just keeping an eye on me.
Well, do you have a tripod? Because if they do come to you, I would like to get a snapshot of you just walking out. To ball them up right in front of you, Steve, and kind of hop over to them on 2 feet, if you will.
Yeah. No, there's a 8-foot fence in front of me, so I ain't getting in there.
Yeah, I'm not getting in there.
Joey's are actually the babies, just so you know. Joey's are the babies.
Yes.
Roy.
Yes.
So there's a couple of little ones on the left there. They're sort of
Aww.
they're probably just at that transitional point. Those ones will sometimes go back to mum and shove their head in the pouch and have another drink for a little bit longer before they fully wean. But
Aww.
the one in the middle right in front of me there has got a Joey in the pouch. I can see it moving before. And the one on the extreme right has as well. But it's not uncommon for a female kangaroo to have a Joey out, one in the pouch, and be gestating another one ready for birth.
Oh my
Really?
goodness.
Yeah.
So it's like 5 under 5 kind of thing, or 3 under 5.
Yeah.
How long do the joeys stay in the
That is
pouches
so
for?
cool.
I think 2 or 3 months. 3 months.
Okay.
And then they sort of jump out and go back in again. They spend some time sort of between the two. It's sort of like, the 24-year-old son living in the basement that won't get out.
We have one of those.
Hey, too bad he's not on here, right, Brooke?
Yeah,
But
they complete their gestation in the pouch. They actually come out when they're only about an inch or so.
So they
long.
complete their gestation
Yeah.
in the pouch.
Yeah. When they first come out, they're only about an inch or so long, and they crawl up to the pouch
Oh,
and attach to a nipple in there.
oh. I think I remember
So, yeah,
studying
and
about
that's
that.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard journey for them to make. Like from the birth canal, they've got to crawl their way across the fur and then into the pouch and connect on. So it's pretty amazing.
Twin Brooke,
once they
that's
get
cool.
there. And then, of course, these guys are marsupials, which is a pouch
That
mammal,
is awesome.
and then we have quite a few of those in Australia.
Yeah, like Bomber. He's got a big pouch.
No, I'm a wombat, mate.
Yeah, they're
Now,
not
what
get the
other
joke.
mammals? What other mammals have pouches?
All
In
mammals.
America, the possum.
All marsupials have pouch.
Okay.
So the
possums
one you
are
have there
marsupials,
is
right?
a possum. Yeah.
Yeah, in America,
Possum is
the
a
most
marsupial.
common one is a possum. I don't know if that's the only one or not. I can't remember, but I know the most common
That's
one is
the
a
only
possum.
one.
Only one, okay. I love that. Darren knows
Possum's
more
the
about
only
that
one
than me.
outside of Australia.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And how many more in Australia are there besides the kangaroo?
Heaps.
Yeah,
Oh, are
quite a
they?
lot.
Okay. All right.
One of my favourites is the wombat, which is a small ground burrowing marsupial. Their pouch actually faces backwards rather than forwards, which has because they spend a lot of time tunneling and digging, so they've evolved so that their pouch goes to the back so it doesn't get filled with dirt.
Okay. What are you doing?
Oh, hello, you're having a bit of a box on over there now. There's quite a lot. There's the spotted quoll, Tassie devil,
Wallabies, koalas,
quokkas, potoroos.
Some of those are.
What's the last one you said? A potteroo?
Potteroo. Yeah.
What is that?
It's a tiny little, about twice the size of a rat. It's sort of a New York rat size.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, you can keep them.
They still bounce around on two legs.
They still
Yeah.
did it really?
Oh, I have to look.
Oh, I've
That,
seen those
that.
things on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them things on TV. Before.
I'm just
I
trying to
think
think
the-
too,
I
Darren.
think kangaroos are
Numbats and bilbies, they're both marsupials, aren't
Yep, they're both marsupials.
they? So
I
the
just didn't know what else
numbats
were
and bilbies
marsupials.
are really cute.
Oh, there's actually the tree kangaroo from Indonesia too.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah, Cherry. About the only thing we see free range around here is deer. Now, when I've been to Alaska, and of course there's deer, they just kind of hang out. They just stand in the middle of the road. They don't care.
Multiple or moose would be mice, right?
Or meese.
Meese.
Yeah,
I
well,
had deer walking down my street this morning.
we've got a real problem with our deer at the moment because there's no native deer to Australia. They're all introduced species and what I call a feral pest. And they're because of the bushfires we had a while ago. They're expanding out their range and starting to cause a fair bit of environmental damage. So hopefully something will be opened up and they'll allow a lot more hunting and culling of the deers because they need to go.
That's what I was just going to say. Sounds like they're not managing their hunting very well.
They were introduced for hunting. A lot of our pests were.
Oh, really? They were brought over to hunt to bring in to hunt, and then they got out of control. That happens.
Yes, the
And
English
then-
gentleman needs a fox to chase.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
But yet they won't let you guys have guns.
Yeah,
we
you can
can
have
have them. It's tighter
Just-
restrictions.
Just got to jump through the hoop.
No.
Yeah.
If you're
About
a
10,000 of them, right?
no, not that many. If you're a fair and reasonable person and you've got a clean record, you can have a gun. It's fairly simple. And as long as you've
that
got,
explains why Darren has so much trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as long as you can prove you've got a need for it.
I can go get one, but it's not worth it because you've also got to have a place to go.
Yeah, with you
And-
living in town, yeah.
It's a lot harder now to get permission to go on someone's property.
Well, it would help you be able to get rid of them birds that you're dealing with.
So how does y'all's like? I know, like we have hunting here. You know, get so many, and like in Alaska, they have like if you want to hunt bear up there, there's a lottery and things like that. How does y'all's like hunting licenses work down there?
For instance, if you wanted to hunt deer, Steve, how would that work?
The deer are slightly different because they actually have they're more managed, so they actually have a hunting season for the deer, I believe.
Yeah, and you need to go to Department of Natural Resources to get a deer hunting license.
Yeah. Which I completely disagree with because it's basically a feral animal. They should be no different to rabbits and foxes. You should be able to hunt them anytime you like, but that's just my eco-friendly opinion. But basically, any animal that is classed as feral is open game and can be hunted at any time. Anything that is native or endemic is protected and cannot be hunted.
As long as you are on a property that is the right size to allow you to hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not like
and then,
you guys in the county, you can discharge a firearm. Here, it's got to be 20 acres plus.
Night, Brooke.
Night, Brooke.
Night, Brooke.
Hey, Brooke.
Happy birthday again, Brooke. Y'all tell Brooke happy birthday and good night.
Yes, happy
That's our
birthday.
daughter.
Happy birthday, Brooke.
So yeah, like these kangaroos are native and therefore protected. And while we do have kangaroo culls, farmers can apply to get permission to cull a certain number. I won't go into that, but but basically, if it's a native animal, it comes under state and federal law and protected.
Okay.
Okay. What, baby? You want?
Now, Twinbrook Acres, where do you live? I'm not good with where everybody lives.
I'd say with a moose in the yard there up north.
Yeah. My friend up in Canada, she gets cougars, she gets moose, bear, coyotes.
There's no way.
So that's what gets me. Americans are so scared of Australia, and you guys have got bears and lions.
Exactly.
Mountain lions, yeah, she deals with them too.
But we don't all carry that big knife to shave with, though, like Paul Hogan did. I had to bring Crocodile Dundee up again. See, that's the problem.
Oh dear.
See, honey, I told you they had power. Even in the backwoods where you see the kangaroos, where Bomber Steve is. See the power line over his top. See.
Whenever
Yeah, I know. I'm messing. I'm just messing with you guys. Yeah, I'm just messing with y'all.
I have family in Alaska, and I was going up there, and somebody was like, one of them, I don't know, I was younger, of course, and they were like, do they have power in Alaska, or do they all live in igloos? People in a house like you.
Yeah, we
That's what.
Australians
Yeah,
are very.
I know you guys.
We're well known for wanting to spin a tall story and basically I don't know, maybe not be completely truthful. So, we like to say things like we have kangaroos jumping down the main road and in our backyards and we ride them to work. But occasionally, I mean, that's where the kangaroos are. And then across the road is houses. So, yeah, some of us do have kangaroos in our backyard.
Yeah.
But, generally it's a bit of a tall story. But yeah, I'm with you, Darren. At least we don't have grizzly bears and mountain lions coming into the backyard.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't either, though.
We're here where we live.
It's not going to tear down your door.
Yeah, that's right. In the country where we live, in the South, and when I say country, I mean the country area where we live, not in the U.S. But the worst that we have in the area that we live, we have an occasional. Well, I should say the worst. The most common that we have would be a coyote. Coyote, foxes. Yeah, coyote is my grandson calls them a coyote, and foxes. But occasionally there's bear sightings around here, but they're the black bears and they're the little ones, and nothing that's going to hurt anything. But if you get near occasionally if you get near the lake, you might see a crocodile, but that's something that wandered up. That either got brought in or wandered up the rivers from Florida, and but yeah, I mean you don't have you've got your normal snakes and stuff like that. The wild stuff. The worst thing that you face is the coyote or something rabid, and that's it. But I do want to acknowledge that we'll be jumping off real soon. I did see two family just go live. And they're out. They hadn't been keeping up with their normal schedule lately with everything that Sherry's been going through. So I do want to give them as much of the floor and fan base as possible. And I know that a lot of us jump over to them, Darren and Terry as well, and we jump over there as well. So I do want to jump off there soon so that we can give them as much of the floor as they deserve. They're such giving people themselves. So, but So any last comments to come on? But go ahead, Steve.
Well, I was just going to say the animal that we do have here in suburbia that is probably the greatest risk is the one that myself and a couple of my friends deal with during the summer, and that's our eastern brown snake and the red belly black. So they're actually quite well adapted to coming into people's backyards, which is why I do sort of part-time work as a relocator, just to keep people safe and to also get the snakes back out in the bush where they should be.
It wouldn't live. It wouldn't live in my
nope. We've got more relocators around here than I thought we've got more relocators. I just joined a couple snake groups on Facebook because I didn't realize that relocators were an actual thing. I thought you just found a few, because snakes don't bother me at all. I'd like to see them first, but even venomous snakes don't really bother me as long as you see them. They go about their own way. But we have of course the copperhead and the rattlers. Mainly, we have the diamondbacks here, but we have my mind just went blank. The other one, the timber rattler, is real common around here too. But those are the two most poisonous ones that we have around here. And of course, we have the rat snake and the king snake that everybody thinks is a cottonmouth. And that everybody wants to kill. But good night, Barb. But that we have our share of snakes and deer and all the wildlife, but the only, like I said, about the only predatory wildlife we have around here is the coyotes. And you get a flock of dogs or you go screaming and hollering at them, they're gonna run off even in a pack. They're not gonna mess with you. Yeah. But man, they scream and holler around. You hear a pack of coyotes and you'll hear them right outside our doors. I don't care how many guns you have on you. I don't care how big and bad you are. If they see you, don't want to walk out there in the middle of the night in the dark, because they'll be right there by you and they're going to run from you. But you just don't want to walk out there.
They live in New Hampshire. Bears, mountain lions, cougars, wolves, most.
Yeah, well, all you got to do is be able to run faster than somebody else that's out there with you.
That's why he takes me with him.
Yeah, I take my wife everywhere. But listen, Steve, that's you joining us today has really made our live. It's really been awesome being able to see. I've never seen them, live and in person, as far as live and in person like that. Really appreciate you coming on and showing us some of the kangaroos and some of the much more fun than chatting about dead things in our garden.
Yeah, well, gardens are they're just a heartbreak, aren't they? They're either the best things in the world, or they're just a as I said, a heartbreaking, shocking thing to deal with. So we've just had a big weekend and put in about 14 fruit trees, which Darren's seen some photos of, which we're very excited about. So now
Which
it's a
are all
matter
laid out
of keeping the
mathematically
buggers alive.
correct.
I bet
Yes,
they are.
They are gridded out to within a millimetre, mate.
I've told Julianne I'm going to take a tape measure up and check.
Everybody that came on. We appreciate everybody coming and joining us. Everybody that did came on. I think we got up to, I don't remember, we were got a little bit higher number than we were, but we were going to talk about gardening and gardening issues, and Bomber Steve kept us from having to do that tonight. Everybody that's here, I welcome and hope you'll go join Two Family Homesteads Live that just started about 10 minutes or so ago. Thank you so much for coming. We will see you next week. And Darren, Terry, I will try to end this the right way tonight. We'll see you this time, 8 o'clock. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for joining us, new
Great
family.
to see you all. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. Please come back.
Good night,
Stay
all.
safe. Love you all.
In broadcast.